Yorkshire Radio.
There it is. There's the klaxon. And a study has released today by the literacy charity Beanstalk, which shows that almost 40% of 16 to 24-year-olds say learning to read was a frustrating and difficult experience for them. To talk about this from Beanstalk, and that's the CEO, and it's Ginny Lunn. Good morning, Ginny.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good. Very good.
Excellent stuff. So a third of young adults struggle with reading. I mean, we sort of see this here with sort of like you see sort of work experience people come through, and the level of literacy that sort of like seems to be coming out of schools at the moment is for want of a better word, is shocking, really, Ginny.
Well, it's something that Beanstalk's concerned about, and I will say I actually used to teach in Leeds.
Oh, so whereabouts?
I did some teaching both in Meanwood Middle School and also in Seacroft Primary. It was a while ago now, I must say, but...
well, it's gone downhill since you've left.
But I loved it. I really loved it. And I've always worked in education. So, it is concerning. And we're also part of a campaign called Read On, Get On, which is really concerned about the numbers of children leaving primary school unable to read well. And our survey kind of backs that up. And what's interesting for Beanstalk is the fact that, also young people said they wished they'd had more one-to-one support. And as a teacher, I saw that. Often you're in busy classrooms, there's more than 25 children all there. And sometimes it's really important that the children get that extra support. And that's what Beanstalk provides. We have volunteers who provide one-to-one support. We go in consistently every week and give those children that are struggling a bit more attention. And I think we're really keen that we try to do more to make sure that we don't have so many children leaving school unable to read well. And then, of course, it's limiting their lives more importantly. It's not very good for them when they're trying to get work and other things in life.
Ginny, I'm going to be an English teacher from September, and as someone who loves reading, always has done, this is something that's quite close to my heart. How much can we blame this sort of drop-off on reading, and youngsters find it frustrating and difficult to learn how to read, on things like tablets and the amount of channels we have on television these days, and sort of how ubiquitous media is these days? And
I think children and young people, they do have a lot of choices, don't they? That's the thing of, what they're looking at. There's lots of distractions at different times. And I think that's where, though, to give children that individual time where you can actually show them and work with them to build their confidence around books, around the joy of stories, and spending time talking. We spend a lot of time just talking, playing with children and reading, and it's really is vital to build that confidence.
How much of this is the local education's fault, and how much is it down to the parents? Because parents do need to have an influence in how their children are progressing and learning how to read and write. And
just to look at what's going on in schools, we know and we see it daily. And I'm a reading helper myself, so I go into my local primary school now, and teachers are just very busy, and I think they say to us, we work in partnership. They welcome our volunteers to give that extra support that they sometimes don't have time to do. So it's very much, it's an additional support that we can provide to teachers, which is really important. And then in terms of parents, we know that, spending 10 minutes a day reading with your child can have a huge impact, but not all parents have the chance to do that. And that's, again, where volunteers can sometimes come in and help and provide that really invaluable support.
Where do you stand on the Kindle? Because my opinion is I hate them. I think there's nothing better than actually having a book. I love buying second-hand books and seeing people's notes and stuff all over the pages.
Hang on a second. What about travelling?
Shut up, Darren. Right. However, I also appreciate that it's sort of a good merge between technology and old-school books, and that could be a way of getting kids into reading.
Yeah, and actually what sometimes I see and I've heard is that, on a Kindle you can actually expand the text so it gets bigger, which sometimes is easier for some children to be able to read in that way. So I think anything that really engages a child is, it's useful. We don't use Kindles in our work with Beanstalk. We have a box full of books, games, lots of things that are going to engage children. But, there is other things that you can use, and whatever engages a child and inspires them to read is a good thing in our book.
Okay, now as we know, Billy's going to be a teacher as of September. He's leaving today. This is his last day at Radio Yorkshire. Ginny, what advice do you have for a fledgling young teacher when he's just about to go in and mould young minds?
I would say enjoy it. Really enjoy the time you're going to spend. It's one of the most valuable things you can do is to give a child an education. So congratulations getting in to do it, and good luck.
There we go.
Thank you very much.
There we go. Now, Ginny, if people want to find out a little bit more about Beanstalk, sounds a really amazing thing that you're doing here. Is there a website of things people can find out about?
Yes, and we really need more volunteers. So please, if you're listening, do look at our website. It's beanstalkcharity.org.uk and sign up. We need you.
So anybody, as long as obviously you've got good literacy, can go along and volunteer and you just go into other schools and help out?
Yeah, we train you
brilliant.
up. We train people to be reading helpers, and then we support them in that journey. So, and then it's consistent support, one-to-one, with children who really need it.
Beanstalkcharity.org.uk. It sounds an absolutely marvellous thing to get involved with if you do have some spare time. Ginny Lunn, thanks so much for joining us on Radio Yorkshire.
Thanks, Darren.